is continuation with the previous part, that is the non-verbal communication. So already we have completed the first one, that is the kinesics. So where we have studied the different the body language representation, personal appearance, posture, gesture, facial expressions, and how your eye contact and what type of the messages they are going to convey. The next one is that we are going for the proxemics. So the proxemics is the study of the physical space in interpersonal relations. The space is related to the behavioral norms. That is, the way the people use space says a lot about them. In a professional, that is, the setting space is used to signal the power and the status. As you know that the gestures should be in accordance with the space available. Is it clear? So the proximus also has a cultural variations. So here they are going to say that the proximus having a cultural variations according to the cultural, okay, it is varied in nature. The a Latin and American or a French person is likely to stand closer to another person, okay, when conversing. The Americans addressed from a close distance may feel offended or become aggressive. So some of the Latin Americans and French people, what they wanted to stand closer to the another person when they are communicating. Okay, what they told that if the distance between the communication person is so close, is it clear, if the close distance is there, okay, they may feel offended, okay, and become aggressive. Some of the studies shows that that Americans, unlike many other nations, avoid close contact with one another in a public places. Indians decide the distance based on the relationship. How we people decide how much distance we have to maintain when you are communicating? You people are having your own that is the culture what you have learned from your parents and all. When you want to communicate with your father, you are maintaining a distance. When you communicate wanted to communicate with your mother, that is the one distance you are maintaining. You know that when you are communicating with your elder parents, your brother, okay, how much distance you have to maintain. You just see the example in between. When you communicate with your father, you are maintaining some larger distance. Is it clear? And when you communicate with your mother, the distance is reduced because you are very close to your mother, okay, and you are going to maintain very less distance. Similarly to your parents, some other the relatives, when they are appearing, you know that how much distance you have to maintain, what type of the respect you have to show. Is it clear? So this maintaining the space when you are communicating is also going to, according to the Indian culture, they are going to show the respect. That is what you are going to convey. Is it clear? So they prefer to maintain a distance with the elders. Okay, Indians always prefer to maintain a distance with the elders when they are going to talk with their higher superiors, that is in the offices, principals, HODs and all. Okay, with the professors, whenever you wanted to talk, you people are maintaining a distance. Why? You are going to show the respect here. Okay, but at the same time, when you want to communicate with your friend, so at obviously you are going to maintaining a less distance. So that's why they are going to say that. So this is totally depend upon the culture. That is, proxemics is totally depend upon the culture. As the culture varies, so this the maintaining the distance is also going to vary. Some of the countries, they wanted to be very close when they want to communicate. Okay, some of the countries wanted to maintain the distance when they communicate, but according to Indian decides the distance based on the relationships. But some of the that is according to the Edward T. Hall, he is going to divide the spaces into four distant zones. That is, whenever you wanted to communicate, according to this person, he has divided the four zones here. Is it clear? That is how much space you have to maintain. Okay, the first one zone he is going to call it as intimate. This zone starts with the personal touch. That is, if you are going to communicating with your family members, is it clear, your spouse, your relatives, your friends, your parents, okay, under this particular zone, okay, while communicating, you are going to holding their hands, you are going to touch, okay, to give the ashirwad and all. Basically, you have seen it in that the televisions and all. This is zone where the distance is very less. That is just up to 18 inches. The best relationship that describes it is the mother and the child relationship, as I've already given the example. Is it clear? The best relationship is the mother and the child relationship. This zone does not need active conversation. There is no active conversation here. Is it clear? A handshake, okay, that is a pat on the back or a hug, all come into this particular zone. Okay, ಒಬ್ರು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಡುಬ್ಬ ಚಪ್ಪರಿಸ್ತಾರ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ಅಪ್ಕೋತಾರ. Is it clear? So this is the type of the respect how you are going to showing to your family members, or the relatives or the parents to whom you are going to be communicating. So this type of the communication, that is the space what you are maintaining just up to 18 this comes under this particular the zone. Okay, and the next one is the personal zone. This zone stretches from 18 inches to 4 feet. Okay, so that is the distance here, it is going to be from 18 inches to 4 feet. So in this here, so the first one is related to family, spouse, relatives, parents and all. The second one is here, it is personal zone related to your close friends, the colleagues or your peers. Okay, so that is in office and all. So when you are to communicate here, so you wanted to maintain a distance depending upon the close, that is 18 inches to maximum up to 4 feet. So there can be normal conversation in this particular zone. This zone is personal, it is totally quite a relaxed and a normal casual place is there. It permits a spontaneous and unplanned communication. Sitting and standing so close brings one close to the listener and give the impression of friendliness and warm. Third one type of the zone here, it is that social zone. In the social zone, that takes place in the radius of 4 feet to 12 feet, that the distance is more here. Okay, so that is the relationship between the person who wanted to listen and the person who is talking, that is the distance is more 4 feet to 12 feet. In this zone, relationships are more just formal and official. People are more cautious in their movements. The number of people decide whether it should be sitting or whether it would be the sitting standing position. If chairs are there, so you people are going to sit over there. So either it may be the sitting or standing. Is it clear? That's why they are going to say that either it may be the sitting. Okay, you people are also seated on the chairs, and another the spokesperson and different peoples who are presented over there, they are also uh, presented on the dais. Okay, some of them are sitting and some of them are standing position, that is the sitting and a standing position is also there. So depending upon the type of that, so you people are going to see it in this type, that is in the social zone. Okay, if the number of people is less and eye contact can be maintained, at that time you are going for sitting position. When a large audience are there, huge people have gathered over there, at that time sitting standing position is used. Okay, so that the so that the people who wanted to explain and all. Okay, so these people are having a larger stage, on that stage they are going to occupy the seats and you people are going to stand to listen the words. Just like that, when you are listening the words of the your corporate member or MLA visited to your area, is it clear? So where you are going to make a place for the larger audience to accommodate over there, and they are all standing over there, and there is a one stage. On that stage, these particular the respected the dignitaries, all they are going to occupy the seats over there. Okay, so this is what you are going to be called as a sitting, and a standing position is going to be used. So the next one is a public zone. This zone starts from the 12 feet to may extended to 25 feet out to the range up to the eyesight and hearing. Is it clear? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಿವಿ ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಜನರು ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದಟ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಜೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್. ದಿ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಟು ಡೂ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ the function which it has been organized in the stadiums and all. The audience is free to do whatever it feels like. Okay, here the speaker has to raise his or her voice to communicate to others using the microphone. Is it clear? Speakers and microphones are there. So here as given best example for this is that huge people has been gathered in the stadium there for listening the voice of a prime minister of a country. Is it clear? So here it is that they have to maintain the distance for security reasons. Okay, so that is some distance is maintained in between the public and the person who is going to be communicating, and huge people are gathered over there. Okay, so this is all about this particular the proxemics. The next one here, it is that the chronemics. Okay, so what do you mean by this chronomics? Chronomics is a study of how human beings communicate through the use of time. Okay, so here is that some of the questions: how do we communicate with others? Okay, what does time mean to us? In order to use a time as an effective communication tool, we should understand its impact on the various aspects of our lives and act accordingly. Okay, we must um, that is use time as effectively. We must use time effectively as much as possible. Is it clear? In the professional world, time is a valuable resource. When we are late for an appointment, people react negatively. If you are arrive early, we are considered either over eager or aggressive. Okay, so what you have to do, we should always be on time. So that's why they are going to say that if we are late, then also people they are going to say something. When we are early, then also they are going to say something. So what we have to do? Okay, so we should always be on time. People have their own time language. Okay, so according to the people, they are going to say that, say for example, one person wakes up at 8 o'clock, so according to him it is early morning. One person is going to wake up at 6:30. One person is going to wake up at the 5 a.m, maybe the early. Is it clear? So for another it may be the 8 a.m. So here it is that it is depending upon that the own time language. So the person who is going to wake up at 5 a.m, so according to him here, just 6 o'clock is too late, 6:30 is too late. Is it clear? The person he is going to wake up at 5 a.m, 6:30 is too late. The person who is going to wake up at 8 o'clock, so that 5 a.m is too early. According to that particular person, he is going to wake up at 8 a.m, so according to him 5 a.m is too early. The person who is going to wake up at 5 a.m, 6:30 and 7, okay, it is too late. So this is, that's why they are going to say that people is having their own time language which they are going to maintain. Time language also varies from culture to culture. Okay, so that's why some of the examples they are giving, say for example in some of the Latin countries, so meeting usually begins well after their appointed time. Is it clear? Mutually meetings begin, that is well after the appointed time. Okay, but in case of some of the countries, that is the Germany and all, that is Scandinavia and Germany, so that strictly they are going to following the time, strictly they are going to following the rule. Is it clear? So they are going to start the meeting at exact time, the time what they have been given. Is it clear? So this is the one the which they are given. In India, what happens is that in India the time language varies according to the occasion. Is it clear? According to the occasion, this that the time language varies. People in India care generally, that is liberal with the time. We people in India generally we are liberal with the time, not strict with the exact rule as just like the Scandinavian and German people. Okay, the last one is paralinguistic. So the study of the paralanguage is known as a paralinguistic. Already we have studied about paralinguistic, and also you have written it in the assignment also, paralanguage and all. Is it clear? The study of the paralanguage is known as a paralinguistic. The paralinguistic properties of speech play an important role in the human communication. When you have to that is increase the pitch of that particular words when you are going to communicating and all. Is it clear? There are no the utterance or the speech signals that look paralinguistic properties. Since speech requires the presence of a voice that can be modulated, it is the study of the voice and how words are said. Paralinguistic signals and cues refers to every element and nuances of your speech. So paralanguage includes the accent, the pitch, the volume, the speech rate, the modulation, and fluency. So paralanguage is the non-verbal communication such as your tone, your pitch, or a manner of speaking. Okay, so paralinguistic are the aspects of the spoken communication that do not involve words. These may add the emphasis or shades of meaning to what people say. Body language, gestures, facial expressions, tones, and pitch of voice are all the examples of the paralinguistic features. Okay, so in this way we have completed about this the proxemics, chronemics, and paralinguistics. So all these things we have been completed. So this completes the chapter. Okay, thank you very much.